What was the name of that light you had the other night? The one with all the colors? The one that looks like the garden sprayer. What was that? Can you send me the link to the clip light, the thing you had on your hat there, the one that does the white and the red? That thing. What was that again? What about that laser? Where can I get one of those green lasers? What was that exactly? How about the light that we were walking around with? The one that you told me about? I forgot the name. What was the name of that light? Hey, I'm Tim Little. I am a nighttime landscape artist living on the east coast of Massachusetts on Cape Cod. And I teach night photography workshops and do guided night photography tours. After every event, the email that I get most frequently has this question. What was that light you were using last night? You know, the one that did the thing, and you told me what the link was, but I don't remember what it is. Well, if you're one of those people who wants to know, or you're just generally interested in what goes in this night photographer's camera bag, then this video is for you. I've used a ton of lights over the years, and I've finally gotten it down to a point where logistically and from a light painting standpoint, I think I've checked all the boxes that I need to check. And by the way, by narrow it down, I say that loosely because these are the lights that I'm bringing with me typically, which I'm going to talk about today. And they range in price from $9.99 all the way up to almost $500. And as I'm sure you know, there is not the perfect light for every circumstance. Some of them I just use for walking around or looking in my camera bag. Some of them I use for both that and light painting. And some of them I just used for light painting. I will put links in the description to each one of these lights. And for the last two that I'm going to talk about, I will put a link to another YouTube video in which I did a deep dive on both of those. So here we go. One of my favorite lights right now is the HX4 from Coast. It's a clip light, 80 lumens, IPX4 rating, and it's got a 1 meter drop rating, which quite honestly, it feels durable enough to really be able to throw it around. I don't really worry about this light. I have dropped it more than a meter on pavement and it has survived. But what really sets this apart from other lights is the fact that you can rotate the head of the light. So let's say you clip it to your hat or your backpack strap. You don't have to clip it at a weird angle to get the light where you need it to be. You simply just rotate the head. It's got a nice 80 lumen bright white light on it and also a red light if you need it. If you're a night photographer or someone who loves amateur astronomy, you know the value of having a red light around. And if you're shooting with other people, it's a great way to not blind the people you are shooting with. So again, HX4 Coast, fantastic light. Price-wise, $14.99-ish is the average. I've seen it for as low as $8.99. all the way up to $20. So shop around, you'll get a good deal. I recommend this to anybody who needs any lighting for really any purpose. Throw one of these in your camera bag. You will not regret it. Next up is the Coast G20 inspection light. It's a 54 lumen tight beamed light. That's what I really like about this. It's great for discreetly walking around if you don't want to draw attention to yourself at night because it's got this nice focused round beam. Great for light painting for the same reason. I love to use it if I'm going to light up headlights, old glass headlights on cars that I'm shooting out in the desert, or just even looking in my camera bag. Battery life is fantastic. I think I got 5 weeks out of this light, and that was the original set of AAA batteries that was in the packaging. So who knows how long they had been in there or how many people had demoed that light out in the store, but I couldn't be happier. And I think at this point, I'm only on my second set of batteries, and now I've owned it for 3 or 4 months. But this frequently is my go-to walking around light because it is somewhat discreet, but bright enough. No frills. There's not different modes. There's just one light level. That's the 54. But for $9.99 on average, I think that's a fantastic deal. Coast makes some great lights. It's tough for me to walk into stores and see more Coast lighting and just walk out because I don't need any more lights. I'm so tempted to get more Coast, but highly recommend the G20 if you're just looking for something simple. Great around the house too. You know who else makes fantastic lights? Thrunite. This is a jack of all trades light. This particular model is the TN12. 16, the 2016 model. They have a lot of similar models, TN12 and a couple different versions of the TN16. This one came in 2 different color variations, not in terms of the outside color, although that might be an option. It's the color temperature of the light itself, and loosely they just named one cool white and they named the other one warm white. And I am someone who prefers that warmer look. I shoot at lower white balances on my camera, usually in the 3000s. So anything that's already white might start to look a little bit blue, where this one won't. Has 6 different lighting settings. So it'll go all the way from 5 lumens, which is their firefly mode, a few settings in between, and then to 1100 lumens, which is super, super bright. And quite honestly, I use it when I hear a sound, like, what was that? And I want to scare something off. It's a lot of animals around here, so that's sometimes something to worry about. It does have, as most of the Thrunite lights do, the strobe functionality, so you can really distract an animal if that's the case. And I've used it on occasion. I've had a few run-ins with coyotes and curious fox animals that are kind of checking you out and wondering what that night photographer is doing. Another nicely built aluminum light, good drop rating, weather resistant. This one takes the 18650s, which are sort of like these large AA's. They look like these here. But because of that, the battery life is fantastic. If you can find any accessories in your life that take the 18650s, buckle up, because you're going to get some amazing battery life thanks to these. In fact, nowadays when I'm looking for lighting or anything that I need to have powered, I'm trying to find the version that takes these batteries. So again, the TN16 from Thrunite. What do I use it for? Walking around, scaring off animals, and to do light painting. One of the lights that I'm going to show you in a few minutes is my main light painting tool, but it doesn't quite have the throw distance that this does. So if you're going to light a lighthouse or a structure that's kind of far away, with 1100 lumens, this is going to give you that option. Okay, just to mix things up a little bit, I'm going to show you this, which is not technically a flashlight. It's not a flashlight at all. It's actually a laser pointer. This is from a company called Wicked Lasers, and it's this argon green laser. I was gifted this several years ago when you could still import these in the United States, and you cannot anymore. And I'm not sure if that's because of some issue that the company's having with importing their product, or it's some sort of import violation due to the brightness level of the laser. But I can tell you it is super bright. No, I'm just kidding. Nothing's happening. It is super bright. I use it specifically when I'm out on tours to point out different things in the sky. Here's the Milky Way. Here's Jupiter. Here's Saturn. This is where the moon's going to come up. And so a lot of people ask me, like, how can I get one of these? Well, unfortunately, you can't get this one anymore. Now, you might be able to find some sort of variant online. The only reason I bring this up is to let you know that I don't have a way for you to get this particular laser, but to tell you that if you're going to get one for the purposes of astronomy tutorials, or you want to point things out to people in the sky, I find that the green ones are really the best way to go. They give you a nice bright beam. And of course, you want to make sure that when you are pointing it up, you are not aiming it at any sort of aircraft. I live in let's say I live under a lot of flight lines. So there's always a plane going somewhere. So I have to be very careful before I start pointing things out to people. And so that's my little PSA. With great power comes great responsibility. So if you pick up one of these lasers, and again, I think it's a limited use proposition. You're just going to probably use it for the reason I'm using it for. Be very careful, because you can get in a lot of hot water by misusing one of these or giving this to someone who may misuse it. We're down to our last 2 lights, and they're both from the same company, Protomachines. The first one is called the Radium, also known, I think, internally as the LED 6. And so what makes this light very unique, besides its design, is that it can really duplicate just about any color in the visual spectrum. So you name it and you can get it. All sorts of various tones of white lighting at different white balances and color temperatures. It's great for video because it's a flicker-free light. So the sky's the limit. There are a lot of RGB lights out on the market right now. They've really been popping up the last year or two at various price points, and a lot of them are pretty cheaply made, and they're meant to be more or less disposable. These are not. I think at the time that I picked this up, it was around $279-ish or so. Not a lot of those RGB lights have the ability to drop saturation, so that's a nice feature because that gives you more of a color palette to work with to really dial in some interesting color tones. If you're someone who likes to do colored light painting or video, this is definitely a light to consider. I did a rather lengthy review of this one and the next light, so at the end of this video, I'm just going to pop up a link to that review. I think it's about 20 minutes, and it covers both in more detail. So again, this is the Radium, the LED 6 from Protomachines, protomachines.com. Great for light painting, all sorts of colors. Highly recommend. Last but not least, this is the light that I get the most emails about. What was the name of that light? How do I get it? How much was it? This is it. This is the cream of the crop for my light painting tools. This is the Protomachines LED 2. This one is not available anymore. When they have it in stock, the newer one, LED 8, is the only option. It looks identical. This is the garden sprayer looking light. But essentially, it is the same light with a couple extra features on the new one, which I'll tell you about in a second. First off, this is brighter than the Radium. Has a nice 40-degree beam on it. So it's a different use light with some of the same capabilities. I have some of my favorite colors dialed in here, and these are sort of my go-tos. But again, you can adjust your saturation, you can adjust brightness, you can adjust color. So unlimited options as far as lighting color goes. It takes 2 of the 18650s. The Radium takes 1, this takes 2. I can shoot for almost an entire week at night doing a lot of light painting, a lot of on and off with this light, and get through the whole thing, and maybe half the battery is gone, maybe less than half. So battery life, again, because of the 18650s, works out really, really well. It's got a nice diffuser here. So if you're going to light something that is large, you're not going to end up with a hot spot, which you get out of a lot of other lights. And it has a threaded front here. So maybe there's a filter or a snoot that you want to add to it, or some other homemade light blocking mechanism to focus the light down more. You've got that option. Really well built. Admittedly, I have dropped this light. It is not as durable on the drop rating as some of the cheaper aluminum light. This is a more ABS style plastic with a metal heat sink here. But it's an expensive lighting tool with some technology in it. It's one of the only lights I've ever owned that has to boot up when you turn it on. But it can save my favorite colors. I can go in and change it at any time off of any one of those settings. So if I want to make red more pink or green more teal, I have those options. And it's 400 lumens, which is pretty great. When I picked up this light, I think I paid around $499 for it. I believe the current pricing on the LED 8 model is around $559, and that gives you a couple extra features. But the main thing is that it gives you a whole swath of different white balances, just white light that you can dial in based on Kelvin, where this one doesn't do that. Now, for me, that's not something I typically use a lot, but if maybe you're going to photograph a person at night, or you're just a stickler for your whites, that's going to be more of the light for you. So LED 2, you want to look for the LED 8. Here is the link for that video review on YouTube. It's about 20 minutes, like I mentioned earlier, but it's a nice deep dive on both of these lights. Those are my lights. Those are all the lights that I typically carry in my camera bag. They have all earned their spot in there. Each one of them does something a little bit different. There's a little bit of overlap, but I will tell you that anytime I leave without one of them, I miss it. So I think I've got it down to everything that I need. But if there is a light that you have that you really like and you want to tell me about it, please let me know in the comments. I would love to hear it. I hope you enjoyed this video and that you found it illuminating. Happy shooting, and I will see you again. Take care.